Hi, I'm Brandon Lewis of Embedded Computing Design, and we're here at Embedded World 2023 in Hall 4A, booth 620, and I'm here with Larry Lapides of Imperas. How you doing, Larry?
I'm doing great, Brandon. How are you?
Doing really well, thanks.
That's
so
good.
it's been a couple of years. Some stuff has happened in between the last time we spoke.
A few things, minor details. Yeah.
But what I really want to know is where's risc-v today? Where's risc-v since we last spoke?
So risc-v has had, I think, some incredible growth in the last few years. COVID notwithstanding, actually, it's a new technology, and it's really seeing a lot of adoption. And I think right now, what I'm seeing at least is that we're at this inflection point, almost a crossing the chasm sort of point. And I've been through that with other companies, and so it's interesting to see that we're moving from early adopters to mainstream. In the last year, there have been announcements by top 20 semiconductor companies like Renesas, like Intel, like Qualcomm. You've seen this sort of, yes, we're doing more than just test chips here. We're actually doing SoCs that are based on risc-v. So I think risc-v is at that crossing the chasm, inflection point, critical mass, whatever you want to call it. Momentum is accelerating now.
That's great. So now that the momentum's accelerating, what's new with Imperas? What have you guys been up to?
So Imperas has been working in two areas in risc-v. Actually, it starts with one technology, which is the processor models for us.
Right.
So we have processor models that support the full specification, but then it's the use cases for those. And the first use case is on the software simulation side. Everybody wants to start earlier on software development. They want to use simulation for that. Our models actually help them do that. And especially for some of the leading edge applications like AI, where the need to optimize an AI compiler is really critical. Software simulation helps. The second use case that we're seeing is design verification. So while there are a number of processor IP vendors that are building and licensing risc-v cores, a number of companies are building their own risc-v processor. And if they're building their own, they need to verify it. It's complex. We actually have the reference model. We have verification IP that helps them with the comparisons. We have functional coverage IP. We have some directed test suites to help with architecture validation. So it's those two use cases that Imperas has been working on.
It's really good times for Imperas, especially with risc-v. I mean, just tracking you guys, you've been really successful, and it's no surprise given what your portfolio is. What are you showing here at Embedded World 2023?
Well, at Embedded World here, one of the key new announcements that we've made in the last couple of months has been the functional coverage verification IP. And that's really critical because in the processor DV area, typically you're going to be using instruction stream generators, which are effectively constrained random test generators. It's random. You don't actually know what you've tested unless you have coverage. And so what we're providing is basic functional coverage modules for the full instruction set for risc-v. And then because we're offering that as source, it's something that people can add to for their specific implementation. So that's from a technical perspective, key thing that we've been doing. And then also what we're talking about here are some of the relationships with other ecosystem partners. I think MIPS, the announcement came out yesterday about our support for the new MIPS risc-v cores, but we're working with all the key risc-v processor IP vendors, Andes and Sci5, NSI Techs, MIPS, Codasip, and there's also Open Hardware Group that we're working with. So, a number of things going on with Imperas. Having a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great. And I got to say, it's exciting to see that the ecosystem continues to grow, because I think that's the most important thing and one of the key barometers of risc-v success.
It is. Actually, when risc-v International first started having a booth at Embedded World, it was mostly the processor IP vendors that were populating that booth. And now it's about half and half between the processor IP vendors and the ecosystem companies. And so we're seeing that change. Also, some of the ecosystem companies have actually taken their own booths here at Embedded World.
Big step, huh?
Okay, that's good. Things are good in the risc-v world.
Right.
Yeah.
But if you want to see Imperas, make sure you stop by Hall 4A, booth 620, see Larry and the team, and thanks a lot for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Brandon. Yeah, come and see us.